Hey guys, what is up? It's Dusty here, and welcome back to another crypto video. And take a look at this, guys. XRP is on the cusp of a breakout. Sentiment looks at the on-chain metrics of 6th largest crypto asset. I've been thinking about this for a little while, guys. The cusp of a breakout. It sounds so freaking cool, but really, let's be honest here. Are we going to see a breakout anytime soon? What's the probability and how crazy is it going to be is what a lot of people have asked me. Same thing for what my prediction is for the end of the year and all that. A lot of people have been asking me that. So today I want to give some enlightenment on it. Not everything, but some. Before we get into any of that though, guys, make sure that you press that like button. It helps out with the YouTube algorithm, doesn't cost you anything, and again, it doesn't give me any money if you thought about it that way. So make sure you press that button. And I have a question for you all, which is, do you actually expect XRP to hit $3.50 plus by the end of the year? Yes or no? Because to be honest with you, it's pretty difficult to really put down what XRP's all-time high is, as every website has a different one. I mean, on Binance, for example, it could have been 396, but then on a different one, it could have been 350, another one 364. You guys get the idea. It's pretty difficult. So I usually take $3.50 as kind of an all-time high. But XRP on the cusp of a breakout? Well, I think so. And why I think so, it's because of Bitcoin usually, and it's about most of the things I keep showing you guys, right? But since Bitcoin is close above, or I should say closely coming around to $55,000 still, it's not looking as if it's breaking downwards basically. As long as Bitcoin stays above this area, we're in the golden area basically. We're good to go. Bitcoin's natural course is going to be the upside, at least my own expectation of that is what it is. And so altcoins will piece by piece follow up. We've seen most of these altcoins already climb a little bit, except for ADA in terms of real price. I mean, XRP was at $1.06 or so before Bitcoin really came up. And same thing for BNB as an example, that they, piece by piece basically paved the way towards the upside. Same thing for Polkadot. Solana is one of those coins which had a really different course though, so I can't really comment on that. And all these coins, by the way, are today completely neutral, not doing too much, not doing anything crazy, and that is actually the way that it's supposed to be when Bitcoin is also net neutral. So when? Well, that of course is nothing that we can really predict, but I'll be taking action if it happens soon. And what I mean with that basically is this $1.20, let's call it 22 to 24 was the most important region basically. We want to see some heavier breakout with some confirmation once we get to that area. And by the way, guys, this is not meant to show you too much except for saying and indicating basically what levels I am looking at. And one of the most important levels was again about $1.24 or so. This has to do with a more bigger downward sloping trend line for XRP on TradingView that we usually talk about. And we basically want to cover some distance above there. Now, my trades are still in about $3,000 and $1,000 worth of profit. Why do I still have them open? Well, because why should I close them if I'm still bullish on all of them? The only thing you can do is kind of grab more and pick more, or I can sell and try to look for a new trade. Like, for example, try to buy back XRP once we come down just a little bit more towards the $1.15 mark and get my way back up there. It's all possible, but I like buying a lot more than I like selling. So what is it about this social metrics or about this on-chain metrics? On-chain metrics basically showcase, it kind of depending, but it can showcase, for example, the activity on the ledger. It can also sometimes show like the social volume and a couple of things on there. That's basically what they use in the metric. They use a couple of different things in their, what they call on-chain metrics. At least that's what I fetched from it. It might be that the official name is different, but you guys get the idea. They use a couple of things for it. So XRP social volume saw an uptick, but nothing too crazy like what we observed back in April, where its price was parabolic and everyone was just crazy over XRP. This lack of interest from the crowd is healthy for now, and more so when price keeps inching upwards and social volume remains low, suggesting perhaps the crowds are in disbelief. Though XRP's number of social mentions is down, the firm says that its network has seen a massive uptick in daily active addresses since bottoming out in late July, indicating that investors are likely finding real-world use cases for the altcoin. This surge of users against a relatively quiet price action is suggesting that it's likely not speculators but actual deployment of users on the network for whatever use case there is out there at the moment. A good part of XRP's daily active addresses is probably stemming from the increase in new participants as we can observe in the network growth metric. this sustained uptrend so far is generally a healthy sign for what's to come. So my own thought process about this one is basically the more of this we see, the better. In the sense that if people are not really hyped up, so to speak, yet the price is moving upwards, that's nice. Then again, the more active addresses, the more participants, all that stuff, of course, increases the chance of people kind of going in a frenzy, so to speak. But let me come back to the previous point. If the social metrics, for example, are kind of low, yet the price is moving up and up and up and up, what that usually tells me is that people that are already inside of it know something, which generally speaking is not being thought about too much over on Twitter. For example, guys, if there was a settlement happening behind closed doors, most likely the price would go up and things would start, shaking a little bit, while the social metrics would kind of stay low because people don't really know. However, that has multiple sides. What is also obviously true is that people can speculate on the lawsuit and not go too crazy on the socials, yet the price itself moves up as people are more and more certain that they're going to win the lawsuit. Like, for example, that's one of the big things which I'm seeing right now for XRP. All right, but that said, I saw this as well. I thought it was really interesting. So Tech Dev says, so the trend-based fib top projection had me thinking, if it can do price, can it do time? Turns out there's an extension which called the top week in both 2013 and 2017. 2021 projection, week of December 20th. Confluent with Jesse Olsen's call. Check it out as well. Now, this is not my style of doing things, so I'm just going to quickly put up here. I don't know if there's any logic basically in all of this because I can see a logarithmic chart. I can see a Fibonacci in there. And basically what they're saying is 2013, past cycle high, from the first cycle in 2011. Then we have a mid-cycle bounce here in 2013. And then started the last impulse somewhere at the end of 2013, before the end of the run basically at the 0.0702, which is at about December of the year in 2013. I think, or maybe November, but I think December. Then in 2017, the exact, kind of the exact same thing happened. Past cycle high, in this case, not exactly the same month, but okay, somewhere throughout the end of 2013. That's basically the same point, right? Yeah, that's exactly the same point. Okay, past cycle high, then the mid-cycle bounce in the middle, basically, of 2017. Last start of the impulse, last impulse, a little bit towards the end of 2017, and the last of the run happened about December of 2017. And so they're saying right now, the past cycle high was all the way back in 2017. The mid-cycle bounce happened, let's say, about last month or so. And right now, we basically got the start of the last impulse, which is going to last till about the end of December or so. I think it's actually something really interesting to take a look at, even though I can't tell you guys the legitimacy behind this, if it actually makes sense at all. But I do find it interesting. So I thought, hey, let me quickly share it, and you guys do with it as you please. It's, of course, a logarithmic chart. But again, guys, I cannot really comment too much on it. Then Tether's $68 billion backing is being doubted as new reports set out to uncover the truth behind USDT. Tether FUD emerges again as a Bloomberg report alleges that Tether could be a scam. I don't want to go too far into this because it leaves some FUD out there in the wild. And the thing is, guys, I've talked so much about Tether in the past. I've told you guys 1,000 times by now, I don't really know if Tether is good or bad. I don't really know what anything is backed by. I don't really know the answer to half of the questions which you can ask me. Is Tether something I use? Yes. Is it safe? Wouldn't be able to tell you. It could be completely good, just completely fine. However, it could be bad. And that's the thing, guys. I literally do not know. And that's the difficult part about the situation. So if Bloomberg writes an article, it doesn't mean it's all of a sudden wrong or right. CoinDesk's David Morris also warns that Tether's continued failure at being transparent could be catastrophic. We get that. And the market for Tether remains bearish despite the stablecoin's issuer's response to the Bloomberg allegations. Because, of course, they keep saying it's safe as they have proper backings. But there have been a lot of questions about that recently. At least 5 countries will accept Bitcoin as legal tender by 2022. By the way, before we get into that one, guys, make sure you check out the Bybit competition. 50,000 XRP on the line. A link is down below. Right now, you guys' chance of winning is 1 in 10. Make sure you understand that. Join it right now. A link is down below. All you need is 250 XRP in the account and trade for $100 worth. The competition is going to start in a couple of hours from now. So be there, guys, or be square. I keep telling you. Then, guys, at least 5 countries will accept Bitcoin as legal tender by 2022 by the BitMEX CEO. It's kind of funny how BitMEX really fell off. Nobody's really using that anymore. Yet again, his opinion is still kind of valid. It used to be a really big exchange that everybody talked about. And he's basically saying that more and more countries will start adapting it. I guess there's some truth to that. However, I really hope that it's going to be done in a different manner than El Salvador did it. Because the way that they've done it is actually a really bad kind of example for Bitcoin, because they pushed it so much on their people in the country, basically, that people really despise it. And Blockchain.com's co-founder thinks that there are valid criticisms in El Salvador's Bitcoin adoption. The adoption of the crypto has not been the smoothest of rides, with pockets of protests springing in the capital. And the country is forced ahead, increasing its Bitcoin holdings and offering incentives for the use of the asset. And, well, the thing is, in this specific country, people just don't want it. People just don't understand. And I think to actually go to a crypto legal standard, basically, or a, how do you call it? Legal tender status, you already got to have a lot of adoption and a community and an ecosystem where it's basically better to get it done. And it's not kind of as a, oh, we want to save our currency, let's try something, let's do it. Guys, I just don't think that's the best way to do it. But again, that is just me. All right, guys, that was it for today's video. Hopefully you all enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you press the like button and subscribe. And I will definitely see you guys again in another crypto video later today. Adios, amigos.